Hello, it's Philly with a impromptu live stream. As I mentioned earlier this week, I thought I have got a lot of work to do in the kitchen getting ready for Thanksgiving. I'm hosting, and so I'm going to just have the cameras on. You know, I don't have any recipes down below. I'm just going to be chatting about and showing you what I do when I'm prepping. I know so many of us are right now doing the exact same thing. And this will spread all across the country as the day continues to unfold in the United States. So getting ready for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to begin, but welcome to the stream. And I'm going to start with getting my turkey out of the bag. So if you've never seen a turkey taken out of this like shrink wrap, then you are in for a treat and probably a story or two. But the reason I'm getting this ready is number one, to prep it so that tomorrow it'll be easier. Tomorrow will be an easier day because there's plenty that needs to be done tomorrow. But plus, I like to get my stock made today, which flavors my stuffing and flavors the gravy. So that has to be done at least a day before. It could be done a couple days before. So I need to get this turkey uncovered, and I'm noticing because I don't have a lot of storage here in the city. I have a decent sized refrigerator, but I'm having some refrigerator issues, and my refrigerator in the back gets a little cold. And so that's where this turkey was, because it was like the only place I could really put it. And I'm feeling right here is feeling quite frozen. So I'm gonna let my friend sit out for a little bit. Because yeah, that's happening. And I'm going to make sure that this side is not facing the back. So that's fun. So it's really an adventure when you have refrigerator issues. And I know some of you are having those issues too. So, but it is what it is. And no matter what, this turkey is going to get cooked. So I did buy a live turkey. At least by me, you know, and this is just from a really wonderful grocery store that's up the East Coast called Wegmans. And hi, Paul, how are you? It's so good to see you. I have so much to do. So anyways, I was just mentioning that I like to get live turkeys. I mean, not like alive. Okay, let me rephrase that. I like to get fresh turkeys. Gosh, it sounded like I just wanted the live turkey, and I don't want that. But I get the fresh turkeys. And it's funny because even though you get fresh turkeys, they're always a little bit frozen. But I know people that try to thaw a bird this big, you run into lots of issues. It's hard. It takes like a really long time. And then, you know, what's it like inside? So I prefer the fresh route. And the grocery store, we have a wonderful chain that's by us that goes up the East Coast called Wegmans. And what's nice is they have fresh turkeys. They always have plentiful amounts. I feel like it's priced fairly. And they have 3 different price levels. So, and to be honest, I just get the lowest price level because to me, I've tried getting some more expensive turkeys. I've never noticed that they're any better. So, I love Wegmans. This one is $2.19 a pound. I got a 20-pounder. And that's all she's wrote. So that's what we're going to be doing. So thank you for popping in, Poe. I'm so glad to see you. As I was mentioning, we're a little frozen over here. So hopefully this guy can thaw out. I might need to give him a massage. So I'm going to get this cut open. So I don't want these scissors. I want my kitchen scissors. You can see I came home from work. I was home early today. The school let out early. And I put on comfy clothes, old clothes, because they could get food on them. And I'm just relaxing. Now, the only difference about what's happening this year, aside from a camera, like watching my every move, is I usually listen to music. I love listening to music when I'm cooking. And that's the one thing I miss as a live streamer for 2 things. Because the first part is that we've just had some sound issues trying to show some or have some music playing while we live stream. We found it most successful with our cocktail streams. But you have to be really careful about copyright, license it, all that stuff. And so you can get a copyright claim put against you. So it has to be music that's allowed to do that. So anyways, that's all to say that I kind of need to figure out a fix. Maybe in 2023, I'll figure that out. But so I'm missing my music. But I have much to do. So I'm going to get this guy cut open. So the best thing to do with that is get him somewhat in the sink, and you just start cutting away. I remember the first time Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for joining. So, do you have anything like we have this Thanksgiving, which, of course, you know, is connected to the history of the country. Apparently, although we're always like, is it really? Did it really happen this way? When the settlers came. But so Thanksgiving, but with Thanksgiving, I think has really become in our country, it's just a time to reflect, be thankful, get together with family and friends. It's all about the food. And my husband would say the football too. He would definitely say the football, but really it's all about the food. Usually you're not exchanging gifts. It's just really about spending time with friends and family and around a table and sharing meals and traditions. So do you have anything like that where you live in South Africa? I think it's where you live. So I would love to know if you have a holiday similar to that where you are, Mapo. So I'm just going to get this guy out of here. So it's just like a thick vinyl plastic thing. Now, you don't really need, there's always all this stuff about if you need to rinse the turkey. You don't need to rinse the turkey. And any expert will tell you, like, that's unnecessary. What I like to do mostly is get this guy dry. Because moisture is kind of your enemy in that if you have moisture, it's not going to crisp. And one thing that's nice when when my turkey is cooking is for that skin to get crisp. So my main mission right now is I'm going to be looking for those organs. So there's going to be a neck in there. There's going to be heart in there. I think liver. I forget what else. Some other stuff, right? And I'm using all of that for my stock, which is going to flavor my stuffing and my gravy. So I really want to make sure I get all that out there. There's this plastic thing here that holds its legs together. So I'm just going to cut it. It is huge, 20-pounder. So when I married my husband, I have to laugh. Size matters for him. So he talks about these stories about he and his brother fighting over food when they were growing up. And so he was always like, get the biggest turkey. But the bigger turkeys can kind of be problematic. So when we first got married, I was getting, I think, 22, 23 pounders. We'd have all this left over. So now what I do is I usually get around a 20-pounder, and then I get, in fact, it's defrosting right now, I get a turkey breast, and I will cook this. Sometimes I cook it before, but this year I'm going to cook it the day after so that we have plenty of meat for sandwiches, because our tradition after the meal the next day is turkey sandwiches, and I love fresh, like real turkey sandwiches. I mean, I like deli turkey sandwiches, but nothing is like real ones. So here is the lovely neck. Definitely feeling a bit frozen, so my friend does need to spend some time out. Again, I did not buy it frozen. I bought it fresh, but sometimes you can find even a fresh bird is a bit frozenish. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these organs. I have a pan here, a roasting pan, and I have my oven heated up. It's preheating right now to 400 convection, which would be 425, but really it can be around 400, 425. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of the organs here, as well as carrot, celery, and onion, and I'm going to roast that. And then you'll see what I do next. But I'm just building the flavor for my stock and for the stock that's for my dressing or for my stuffing, or dressing is both. You can call it both. And for my gravy. And I found that this way gives you great flavor. So I'm doing a couple different layers of flavor. This is one way I build the flavor, is by roasting the parts, and then I'll deglaze it after it comes out of the oven. I'll deglaze it with a little wine and some water and actually some chicken stock. So just to kind of make this really flavorful concoction here. And then I will create a stock that's I'm going to put fresh vegetables in, and I'm going to let that reduce during the whole time of the stream, because I just want to create this very flavorful stock, because its job is making my stuffing taste yummy and making my gravy taste good. So I got to get my parts out. So I'm going to, and the plastic thing here is always the worst. So like, to me, I love doing this. I always would recommend doing this the day before, because it's a bit of a pain in the butt. Oh, here we go. Oh, yikes. So this thing, yeah, I'm not really sure what its purpose was. I'm gonna be getting some in a minute. I'm gonna get some paper towels there, but right now I just wanna get the organs out so that I can get this thing roasting. Okay, I'm flipping this guy over. Let's see, I got some ice here, which I'm not too happy about. You know what, I got out here some, these are gonna be my turkey paper towels. I try not to use a lot of paper towels. I try to be green, but on Thanksgiving, we gotta kind of, just gotta get stuff done. And I have some ice here. So again, friends, if you're doing a turkey, you need to get into that bird and see what you're working with. And even if it's quote fresh, you need to see if there's some ice you need to get rid of, because that ice in there is just going to take away any crispiness when this bird cooks. So we do not want ice. We want that away. So I'm gonna move my parsley back because I do not want that infiltrated with the, yeah, this is the side that I think got a little bit frozen in my refrigerator, because my refrigerator is a bit of a hot mess, a cold mess, a frozen mess. So let me see. So Pope said, no, we don't have it here. People usually prepare turkey around Christmas here for those that celebrate it. Ah, yes. And you know, growing up, we used to have, as a young girl, we used to have turkey for Christmas and Thanksgiving. And then, I don't know when, at a certain point, my mom started, I'm just trying to get this wing a little bit loose. I don't want to break it, but I just want to get some of this ice out so that it can thaw. So yeah, this one's a little bit of a, let me get my little spoon here. So we used to have turkey for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, which is, you know, just like a month away from each other. I didn't mind. I actually quite liked the meal. And then at some point, my mom started cooking, because the turkey meal, as good as it is just really labor intensive. And to do a turkey at Thanksgiving and then at Christmas is just like a lot of work. So at one point she decided to do a beef fillet. And it was just easier and everyone loved it. So that's kind of how we rolled for many years. And that's actually what I usually do, because my boys loved beef, and we don't eat beef all the time, so it was a nice treat, and it was something special. Okay, so again, the problem I'm having here is that part of my fresh bird has gotten a little bit frozen, so I'm gonna be letting this sit out a little bit while I'm doing the other prep. But in here, and this is what hopefully we can get to, in here is where they put the rest of the, what do you call it? Organs, and this is going to be a little bit of a problem if I can't get in. So let me try to get my scissors in here, and this is just skin in here. Let me just try to get it. Ah, I might be able to get in there. Whoop. Okay, so I'm just trying to pull it. There we go. Yes. Okay. So yours probably won't be as frozen as this one is, and again, most of this bird isn't frozen, but some of it got frozen. Okay. So then this lovely bag are some more organs, but these organs are going to be great for flavor, so we are not going to waste those. All right, and there's our bird. So I'm going to rinse my hands, and I'm going to get in my roasting pan here. Actually, that's not the pan I'm going to use. That's the pan my bird's going to sit in overnight, because I need to be small and tidy, because so it doesn't take up any more space than it has to in my fridge. When we lived in the suburbs and we had 2 refrigerators, we had an old one that had been in our house earlier, and we got a new one. We moved the old one in the garage, and it was wonderful because it always had space. And now that we're back to normal life with one refrigerator, is always a bit of a jockeying around to have room for everything. So this is the roasting pan I'm going to use for the organs. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some olive oil. I'm just going to drizzle it in the pan. And in the pan, I'm going to put some onions, some carrots, and this neck and these other organs. So we got our neck. I'm going to put that there. Open up this lovely bag. So true story, the very first time I cooked a turkey, new wife, hadn't done a turkey before, and talked to my mom about what to do, and she gave me the recipes that she used. This is I don't know what that is, but that's some sort of organ. Maybe that's a liver. This looks like the heart. Sorry my little friend. Thank you for giving giving her life so that we could have the celebration. And in any event, I was very excited because I thought that I had had quite the success cooking my first turkey until we were carving it, and we got to this part here that I recently just opened up for y'all, and I didn't realize that we had to go into there and get some of those organs out. So I am definitely one of those people that the first time I cooked my turkey, I did not get that package out. I got the neck out because in my family, we do the unthinkable, which a lot of people don't do, and the FDA or USDA, whoever, doesn't recommend, is I still stuff my bird. So I'm careful not to overstuff my bird. I've never had a problem with it. You know, I feel like I've cooked my bird well. All the different parts are done. The stuffing has been hot enough. I take temperatures to make sure no one would get sick. And what's nice about cooking the stuffing in your bird, if you are, I guess, risky like me, because back in the day when my mom was doing it, it was what everyone did. But back in that day, one thing that's great about putting the stuffing in your bird is all the juices from the bird as it's roasting, it helps flavor your stuffing. So the stuffing in the bird is like, it is so good. Like I never can fit all the stuffing in there because my husband wants me to make copious amounts of stuffing, but the stuff that's in the bird is always the best. So so I had stuffed the bird and all that, but then he was carving it and he's like, oh, what's this stuff here at the neck? I'm like, I don't know. And I saw this bag and of course they were cooked at that point, but I was embarrassed. But hey, you learn once and you don't forget again, right? I feel like it was like a rite of passage to leave that in there. So I've got the organs. I'm gonna get my carrot, celery, and onion ready so that I can put that here. So the things I'm gonna be doing today are gonna get my stock ready. I'm gonna get stuff prepped for my stuffing that I'll be making tomorrow. I won't be making the stuffing today, but I'll be getting stuff prepped, so it'll make it easier tomorrow. I'm going to make my cranberry sauce. I'm going to also make some vegan mashed potatoes for my niece who's coming. In the guests, my sister's family is coming, and my one niece, we have some different dietary restrictions with my sister's family. One of the things is that my sister is gluten-free. My niece, my one niece is vegetarian and gluten-free, and then my other niece is vegan. So it's just a couple of, you know, interesting challenges. So we have people bringing different dishes and it'll all work out. But last year when my niece who is vegan was over, I had planned on setting aside some potatoes before I mashed them so that she could make them into her vegan mashed potatoes without the butter and the milk and all of that. And I forgot because, you know, in the midst of it all, you're like, dump, butter, mash, like you're doing everything pretty quickly. And so in any event, I decided today I'm going to do it so that I don't forget, and it'll be all set for her tomorrow. So Bo asked, which day is Thanksgiving? So Thanksgiving is tomorrow, Thursday. So it's always the third Thursday in November. So it's not a certain date, but it's always like a certain Thursday. So I'm gonna get my carrots and my celery and my onion over here ready. Let's see here. All right. And again, this is just going to roast with the organ parts. The giblets, oh, I'm sorry, I should call them giblets. That's what my mom always called them. And that's, I think, what they're called. Make no mistake. So this should be good because that's a pretty large carrot. Gonna wash it. Let me get my celery out so I can wash that. So giblets. So now, the way my mom did it growing up is she did not do this whole roasting process, but she would cook the giblets in the giblet broth. And then she would use, she would cut up the giblets and she would add them to the gravy. So that's how she rolled. That's what she did. And I will tell you, as a young child, I was a little suspect about these giblets. So wasn't like the biggest fan of that. I didn't mind the neck meat, but the other things I was never very fond of when that came up in my gravy. So, so then for a while, because my husband's mom had also done the giblet gravy, so for a while I, made that for a few years. And then, you know what I do? I just thought it was like a lot of fuss for not, especially with it just being the neck, and the neck is really a pain to get all the meat off that's there. So I decided, I made the executive decision, since I'm the executive chef here, I decided that I was going to not do that anymore, and I was just going to use it to flavor it. And instead, what I would do is use it for flavor, but not texture. So I do not add that for texture. And I can tell looking at my camera, by the way, that my camera is not matching my movements. And I don't know why that's happening. Because I refreshed everything. It should be okay. Popo, how is the connection? Is it seeming okay, or is it glitchy? I'm worried it's glitchy. Because usually when I look at my laptop, it matches exactly like what's going on here. So I'm not going to actually peel these carrots because, I wash them. I do not need this part off. I just need the flavor. So I'm making it easy. Oh, the connection is perfect. Good. All right. Well, thank you. It's just throwing me a little because like my motions are a little delayed in there. So if I peek over there, I'm like, uh-oh. All right. So I'm just chunking these up. Doesn't have to be perfect. So the trio, I'll put those in. The trio would be onion, carrot, celery. That's going to be adding all of our flavor. And now I need to get my onions. I think I have my onions over here. Let me grab those. Let's see, onions. Oh, I know where you are. They are over here in the closet. One has to be very creative in the city with this. All right. Okay. One has to be creative. Okay, so we got my onions. I never buy this many onions, but with the Thanksgiving meal, I usually go through a lot, so it was just cheaper to just buy the whole bag. Get in here. I'll do 2. There we go. So typically, with it being the Thanksgiving holiday, now not everyone has Friday off. Being an educator, the schools always have Friday off, so I have Friday off. And then my husband took Friday off. So a lot of times it ends up being a nice long weekend and people can travel and see family. So lots of different traditions around that. But I actually, one of the things I love about Thanksgiving is that it is just simple. Meaning the meal is not simple. Let me clarify. But the meaning of it's simple. It's being about thankful, being grateful for things, and kind of reminding yourself. And I got to tell you that even though most of us were celebrating by ourselves during the pandemic, I actually never felt more grateful, I think, than we were celebrating during those pandemic years, because we missed our family and we were grateful for those times and the celebrations we'd had. And so I feel like it really gave new meaning to these holidays and these times we have together with our family and friends. Oh, and of recent, and I don't know if you know about this, Pope, but of recent, what has gained traction is something called, now I forget the name, Friendsgiving. So Thanksgiving is with family and friends, at times, but Friendsgiving is usually just with friends. And so a more casual affair, but everyone kind of pitches in. It's a bit of a potluck. And sometimes a turkey is made, but that's kind of a newer tradition that some of the younger generations are doing, which is super cool. So I'm just going to be scattering my onions, my celery, and my carrots around. Again, what I'm trying to do here I'm gonna brown everything and I want to develop flavor. So I'm just nestling everything in. And then I'm going to glaze this, and this is going to start my stock. So what I want to do now is I want to season everything. So let's get that seasoned. Let's get some salt and pepper. Nice and well seasoned. So we're developing these layers of flavor. And I realized I forgot to put my pepper in my pepper mill. Real life here. Forgot to do that, so let me get my pepper mill. First, let me get my pepper. Oh, and hopefully I have some pepper left. Oh dear, let's see. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. I do have some ground pepper, like, you know, that's already, but, oh, blast. Aha, I found some. There we go. Amidst the sesame seeds and the za'atar and the honey and the hot sauce and the black sesame seeds, I have my black peppercorns. So I'm going to over here, my lovely grinder that makes my life so much easier. One of my favorite things. I need to pour these in. I love fresh ground pepper. And I don't mind grinding it, but I love lots of fresh ground pepper. And so what happens is a lot of times you're trying to get quite a bit and then you're just grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. So I like having this battery operated one. It makes it so much easier. And it's one of my favorite tools. Okay. Now I'll get my pepper. There we go. Oh, you notice now it's changing. Well, I will tell you that I'm noticing the picture in my camera looks like it looks live, meaning I'm actually doing what I'm doing currently. So, yes. Oh, no worries, Mpo. Thank you for stopping by, and have a happy Wednesday, happy hump day, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. If that happens, no worries. So I'm going to now, I want to get a little more olive oil on this. Here it is. So I'm going to put a little more olive oil, and I'm going to pop this in the oven. I don't have a time I do this. I just, until it smells good and it looks roasted, I'll let you know. I'll kind of look at the time. When I do all this prep, I'm just kind of like doing it, right? So I've never really written down what I do. So this is my loveliness. This has the neck, the heart, and I guess the liver, and these vegetables. It's going to roast until it's done. I don't know, until it looks good and brown and smells delicious. So this is going to start my house, not my house because I'm not in the house, but it's going to start my condo smelling amazing. I need to get my trash bag out so I can get all this gross stuff. I gotta see how my little turkey's doing. All right, let's see here. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna put my trash can here so I can get it used. All right, so my turkey, I'm gonna put him, let me see here. I'm going to use a little bit of water to try to make this one wing just not so frozen. So I'm going to hoist him down here. Again, I'm not trying to rinse him. I'm actually trying to thaw him a bit, because if you just are joining us, you might have heard that my refrigerator has a really cold spot. And so this area of my turkey got frozen because I did buy a fresh turkey. And so I'm just trying to get some of the ice out of it. And then I want this turkey dry. So, okay, so that helped take some of that off. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I have all this turkey stuff, and I don't want that to get on my cutting board. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a nice bed of paper towels and try to start drying this fella off. And he will dry in the fridge. I try to keep my turkey uncovered in the fridge. It's just hard, and right now my fridge is so full, and this happens every year, nothing new. So I'll do the best I can. All right, so I'm gonna, first let's hoist him this way. I'm just gonna start drying. So these are ones I'm dedicating to turkey. I'm just trying to get him dry. Dry skin becomes crispy skin. So I'm trying to get him all dried off. Okay. Get some more. It's nice because the day before, when you're doing all this prep, it really does. It brings just such a wonderful aroma to your place. Gets you all excited for the big day. Oh, yeah, definitely a little frozen there. So let him thaw out a little bit before he goes back in the fridge. And I'm gonna try to position my stuff so he's not so far back. We'll try that. Hopefully that will work. Oh goodness. He's like he's a stiff old bird. Oh, this fella. Poor guy. You're like, tell me about it, right? I know luck hasn't been your friend, has it? All right. Okay, let's see. So again, I'm just drying. Trying to get this moisture off. And what we'd like to do is let him dry in the, and flip him. Okay, get this moisture off. I'm gonna go in here. Now this is where we've gotten the heart. That's where it was packed, where that like paperish bag was packed right there. Okay. All right. Well, it's getting pretty, and this is just all, get this all dry. All right, not too shabby. I'm gonna lay him back on his back, and then I'm gonna try to get the inside of the cavity. So one of the things I do, I don't do it today, but I'll be doing it tomorrow. One of the things that, that I do with my bird is I separate the skin right here, and I just saw a hack on a show. That's why I always watch these cooking shows. I still watch them time and time again because I always learn something new. And the hack is I usually have to put my hands all the way through here to separate the skin from the meat, and then I put butter and herbs all under there. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So good. But the hack was that a back of a wooden, or the end of a wooden spoon also can do it. I don't mind doing it, but it does a lot easier and actually gets areas that I can't quite get. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. Oh, and see, oh my gosh, there's something else in there. What the heck? Ugh. Oh, that's nothing. I don't even know what that is. What's that? And you're like, you're the expert. No, I'm not the expert, but I don't know. It's like, I guess it was part of the neck. I don't know why they left that there. That was silly. Okay, so I see a lot of ice in here that I really want to get out. So what I'm going to do is, it's going to make other parts wet. I'm going to actually, I'm going to add some water to this. I'm going to keep it here so that I can just dump that water back out so I don't get the rest of my bird wet, because I've just spent all this time drying it. But there's just some ice there, and I want to get that out. So I kind of want to let some liquid help rinse it out, and then I'll dry it well. Okay, so let me rinse my hands. Oh my gosh, already it is smelling so good. I can't even tell you. So yummy. All right. There we go. Let me get, I'm just going to use this glass. This will work. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to fill this up. I'm going to fill him up, and I'm going to dump him out. Again, I'm just trying to get some of this ice. There's like ice crystals in here. I want to get them rinsed out. I also wonder if I can, this guy is a pain. Because what will happen is tomorrow when I stuff it, this is just going to be all liquid again. All this drying that we're trying to do is going to be for naught. So I'm just trying to get some of this ice loose. So this, again, this is why you check out your bird. You don't wait till the day of. You gotta see what you're dealing with, you know? You definitely gotta see what you're dealing with. So I'm just gonna let the water sit here a second so I can get some of that ice. Oh, this is one of the most complicated ones so far I've had in a while with it being so icy. Which is again why I don't do frozen, even though I'm dealing with a little bit of frozenness right now. Okay, I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my paper towels, I'm just going to pat it. You just wanna be careful because you don't wanna leave any paper towels behind because that would be gross once you stuff it. I'm just trying to get some of the extra moisture out. Just be aware. Okay. There we go. And I might just have to dab it a little bit tomorrow too. And that's fine. You do what you do, right? Oh, see, I see that. That is ice. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. I'm gonna just try to get a little bit more out. You can hear that. Can you hear that? The problem is that's all water. So I do not want that in my bird. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can get that out. Oh, hear it? Yep, look. Oh my goodness. Of course, this is gonna make like half the people watching saying I'm never gonna cook a turkey because it's too complicated. It really isn't this complicated. And especially if your fridge isn't broken like mine is. I guess I should be happy though. At least it works. But we do need to get a new one because this is just getting crazy dealing with this. I'm gonna do one more water. Rinse, just to try to get some of that loosened. What a pain in the butt. This is why I do this only once a year, and if I ever do turkey another time, I just do a turkey breast. And it's funny because actually I prefer as I've gotten older, I love dark meat. Like I definitely didn't give dark meat enough love when I was younger. It was all about the white meat. And it's funny because my younger son actually really likes dark meat. He's not a big turkey guy, but if he has it, he wants the dark meat. So he actually figured it out later. So good for him. All right, I got, one more. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. I know I'm looking like a woman that's obsessed, but I've just gotta get this ice out. It's just gonna haunt me tomorrow. Okay, I think I loosened the last few pieces. Okay. I promised you this work. Yes, I got it. This work will be worth it. There will be reward. Okay. Most boring part of the live stream, but it is what it is, right? We're just trying to get a turkey dinner on the table. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. I know I keep saying that, but it really, really does. Okay. All right, so this one's as good as it's gonna get. So now I have my smaller pan here. This is not what I roast my turkey in, but what I do is I store it in here for the reason being that I want to have it be the tightest, smallest spot so that it doesn't take up all the space in my fridge. So, whoops, that's not gonna work. So we're gonna move this, move that here. All right. Let's see. So we can tuck it in. Tuck all the goodness. It's kind of big. There we go. Huh. You know what? I realized I got gypped on my wing. Look at this. Look at this. There is no of the little wing there. And here it has it. Maybe I did that. Nope, I don't see it. Darn. Well, I've never, all these years, I've never had that happen. My guy doesn't have a tip. I mean, it's fine. It's not like a big deal, but wow, that's interesting. Okay, enough about that. Okay, so this is, all right, so I'm feeling it. So this is the part that's frozen. This is the part that needs to face out. And I'm just gonna let it sit out a little bit. I'm gonna set my timer so I don't forget. I'll let it sit out just a little bit longer and then I'm putting it back in the fridge, but I'm gonna make sure that the side that is frozen does not face the back, which is the most cold part of my fridge. All right, and I gotta tidy some of this up. We've got a royal mess going on here. Let me see, let me tuck that in a little bit more. There we go. See, it's like I've tried to find something, the smallest space possible for me to put the bird so that I can use up the least space in my fridge. All right, so we'll let them sit out just a little bit longer and then I'll put them back in. Oi! Yes. All right, let me set my timer. Let me throw this away first because this is a mess. So when you're doing this prep, oh, that's right, I put it over here. When you're doing this prep day, you need to make sure the trash goes out that night because you're just gonna have all sorts of funk in your trash. Okay. Well, that took a lot longer than I expected. I'm glad I started the stream early. Oh my goodness. And you can see why now. I asked for my hubs to bring home some takeout. We're not going to do a review on it, but I do not, after all the cooking I do in the afternoon, I do not feel like cooking dinner then. Okay, so I'm gonna get this cleaned up. I'm actually gonna rewash my knife. I want to make sure in case any of this stuff has splattered anywhere. Let me get my soapy sponge. I'm gonna get my spray, my kitchen spray, so we don't have any disease or anything. All right, I'm going to rewash my wood board just to make sure. Better safe than sorry. Okay, and then we're going to start chopping. Alrighty, just rinse this. Get this off. Okie dokie. All right, so the things I still need to get done is I need to get a lot of my chopping done for the stuffing tomorrow and get some things prepped for the stock for once my roasting, my giblets come out roasted. So that's one thing that needs to happen. And the other thing that needs to happen is I need to make my cranberry sauce. So actually, I'm going to make my cranberry sauce now because I'm going to use this for my vegan mashed potatoes. So I'm going to take that. By the way, my apologies if you're watching and it's glitching. I don't know why it seems to happen some days and other days it doesn't, but I can tell from the video that I think that's happening, so my apologies. Okay, here's my recipes. For my cranberry sauce, I'm pretty standard. I love all different kinds of cranberry sauces. My husband loves cranberry sauce and he likes traditional cranberry sauce and he likes the one that I make. And so mine is very traditional. It's a cranberry orange sauce. Basically it's a pound of cranberries, 2 cups sugar, a half cup water, a half cup orange juice, and I use fresh orange juice, and some grated orange rind. So I'm gonna do that part first. So I've got my orange. And I'm going to grate it. So all this adds just really good flavor. And I mean, cranberry and orange is just such a great marriage anyway. I love cranberry orange scones, cranberry orange bread. cranberry orange biscotti. Oh my gosh, the orange smells so good. Over the years, I've become such a fan of orange smell. So when I'm working, I actually almost always, even when they're not in season, I almost always have clementines, because you can get them really anywhere now. And to me, it's just almost like aromatherapy when if you're grabbing a snack at some point during the day and you peel that orange, those orange oils. I don't know. I'm like a huge fan. Okay, so there's my orange peel. So that's gonna go in my pot. Scoop that up. Okay. And then I'm just gonna juice this. And yes, I use this also. You'll see how I do it. It's probably crazy, but it's what works for me. So my husband uses oranges for his, I don't know if it's the Manhattans or Old Fashions or whatever, his bourbon-y things. So I had to make sure that I didn't use his. So I'm looking for a cup of liquid. So I'm just going to, there we go. Again, another one of my favorite tools. I love these citrus squeezers. They're awesome. I used to have one of these other kind of juice squeezers, like you kind of put something on top and you just rotated it, and it was fine. I just think this is more effective. I think it gets more of it out. I felt like all that one did was kind of mush it. So there we go. So I'm looking for a half cup of juice. And then whatever we don't have, oops, that didn't come undone. This is just a navel orange, by the way. You can use any orange. I actually have a blood orange in there, and I thought about using it, except for one of the things that's wonderful about a blood orange is its beautiful red juice, and it's cranberries. So like you're not going to get any use of the beautiful red juice because it's already red because of the cranberries. So I decided I wasn't going to do that. All right. If you are just joining, this is just an impromptu live stream. I don't have my recipes like I usually do. Usually if you are used to my live streams, you know, they are very well planned out. I have recipes below, links below, but I decided since so many of us in the States are getting ready for Thanksgiving, I would just kind of show you what I'm doing. Kind of keep you company. Or if you've never done a Thanksgiving dinner, maybe it'll provide some tips. So feel free to ask questions or just say hello. All right, let me see. So that's only a quarter cup of juice. So I'm just gonna wanna make sure I add enough water. So I need a total of 1 cup. So I'm gonna have to add a little bit more water, which is fine. You still get that orange flavor. And of course we had the orange, whoopsie, yikes, the orange zest. That's the thing with, you know, some of these recipes, savory recipes, it's okay. Like we don't need to stress. It will taste orangey. Would it taste orangey with all orange juice? Yes. But is it going to be okay? Yes. So, and then we get that juice spot off my floor. Just clean, so I don't want to have that stickiness. All right. So I'm going to put the rest in here for 1 cup. All right, there we go. So that's the orange peel, 1 cup of combination of water and orange juice, and then it's a pound. So these are 12 ounces, this is 12 ounces. So really what I want is, let's see, I want almost both of these. Okay. Let me see here. And then I'll take like, not quite, There we go. That should be good. And then I'm going to add to that. So I've got, and my sugar. I just need my 2 cups of sugar. And if you like your cranberry sauce a little tartar, you can add a little less. So let me get my sugar. And I know my last sugar was low, so I've got to get my container out. Or not container, bag. Holidays, my goodness, we go through sugar and flour like no one's business, right? Okay. What's up? Okay. So I need 2 cups. There it is. Okay. If it's not quite the top, it'll be fine. I like it a little tart, so that's fine. There we go. 2 cups. And that's it. Super easy. Cranberry sauce is so easy to make. I think my mom told me that early on, and it's so much better homemade. And so once you figure that out and realize like how much more delicious it is, you'll make it homemade each time. And we love cranberry sauce here in our household. My husband loves it. All right, so you give it a quick stir, and all you're going to do is you're going to put this, bring it to boiling, and then you're going to simmer it. And I think I simmer it for about 10 minutes, and then that's it. Super easy. Okay, so we'll let that come to a boil. I'm going to put these extra cranberries back away, and then we'll start our prep for our broth. Let me see how the stuff is. Oh, it's looking good. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. I wish there was smell-o-vision. It smells so good. Okay, let me tidy this up. I don't need that. And this. Get rid of this. All right, let's clean this off again. And I think I'm gonna put my turkey away now. Now that we're done with this. Okay, so get this guy in. So give me a quick second to get him refigured back in. This time I'm gonna put my condiments along the back. Those won't get frozen. Let me remember which is the frozen side. That's the one. Okay, so this is the side that has stuff. All right, getting this guy in. Yikes. Oh, that's not gonna work. Okay. So that's a little tricky. Let's see. So I just have to, let me see. Okay. It looks like, okay, I know I'm talking to myself, but it looks like there's some space. Just trying to figure out what I could possibly fit there. I just think it needs to not be as big as those other things. Okay, all right, I think I'm good. Please be good. Yep, we're good. It's in. It's in. Oh my goodness, the stress of trying to make sure all the food fits, especially when you have a big old turkey in your fridge. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start prepping the vegetables that I need for my stock. And I'm also gonna be prepping the vegetables that I'm gonna put in my stuffing tomorrow. So I'm checking my cranberries, and already they're starting to pop. It's going to be boiling in a second. You'll hear them popping, which is a lovely sound. There we go. 1 second. All right. So let's see. I'm going to need, let's see what I got here. Got my celery. This is older celery, but I think for the stock it'll be great. Yes. Let me wash my knife. Can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear the popping. That's the good noise. That means your cranberries are starting to get yummier. They're getting better. They're getting yummier. Okay. All right. So, let me see here. Wash this. It's got a bit of a spot on it. Okay. These are my non-turkey paper towels, my other paper towels. So I'm just going to take off that and look for any bad spots. Get that guy off. This will all be good for my stock because, you know, the celery leaves are yummy. Yeah, that's all good stuff. Let me just cut that tip off. 1 second. Okay. And then take this back. I don't like bad spots, even if it's just for stock. So I'm going to take that off. There we go. Just going to chunk it. Okay. This is a nice celery for our stock. Get a little plate for all this. That's probably all I need. I can use the rest of the celery for when I prep for my stuffing. Okay, so I'm going to watch my microphone. 1 second, we'll put that there. Okay. All right. Now I'll get my carrots. Again, my carrots for my stock, I do not need to peel because they're not being presented, right? So they don't need to look pretty. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Okay, this is boiling, and so what I can do is reduce the heat to simmer, which of course I don't really have a simmer, but we're going to make the best. And we're going to cook this for 10 minutes. And check on my, oh my gosh. Oh, that looks so good. So I gotta think, I'm gonna be, gonna want to glaze it with some water. I'm just thinking. I have some other turkey stock I can use. Okay. Just thinking. I'm gonna use this for over here because it's. All right. Yes, I'm going to get my, let me see here. Just thinking what wine I want to do to the glaze. Pan, let me see. I'm going to use a little white wine and I'm going to put a little touch of sherry in there just because. How about that? It's a holiday. Add a little something, something. You could use, my sister uses, when she's making her gravy, she uses, oh, I forget, it's a fortified wine. And I can't remember the name. That is very good with her gravy. I just wanted to glaze the pan a little bit, give it a little flavor. So I need this for my stock. So since I'm gonna be cooking a long time, we'll do this. Good. onions. I feel like onion gives such good flavor. Get these carrots washed. And these are quite thick, so I'm going to chunk these up a bit. You can see. You know what? I might do one more. No, that's fine. I think that'll be good. Okay. One second. So I'm noticing that my husband is calling and he knows I'm streaming right now. So I'm not sure. I think he must have forgotten. That would be my guess, that he forgot that I was streaming right now. I don't know if that's going to mess up the stream or not. We'll see. Because I use my cell phone for my camera because it's really the best camera we have. All right. So I know it might seem like it's a lot of fuss for this stock, but what I like is that it forces you to get into the turkey and see what you're dealing with so that you're ready for the next day. But the other thing I like is the fact that it really builds this flavor that you're going to appreciate in two of the big, at least in my family, the big elements, which is the stuffing and the gravy. They're just really important. So you want them to be good. You don't want it to be like a so-so ho-hum gravy. I mean, we're a big gravy family. We like a good flavorful gravy. And so to me, it's worth it. It's very much worth it. So here's my vegetables. And then what'll happen is I'm gonna put those in here. And I'm gonna cover it with water. Ooh, that'll fit. I might have had like my eyes a little big. Let's see if this fits. I'm not gonna put the other vegetables in there. I'm just gonna be putting the giblets in there. Yeah, I think that'll work. It'll be just enough. Okay. So once the giblets are done, we'll put those in there and we'll fill it with some more, we'll deglaze the pan and then fill it with some more stock. And you can see my simmer isn't working well at all because I'm almost boiling over here. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to need to take out, let me try this. I need to take out I think I'm about ready. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, that looks good. Okay, so I'm turning that off and I'm going to get this filled with a little yum to deglaze the pan, a little mix of wine and sherry, just to give a little bit of extra richness and goodness. Let's see. All right, so let's get this out. Okay, it is sizzling, if you can hear. And now let's add some more sizzle. Oh, yes. Nice, and then we'll just add a little bit more so we can get that off. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my giblets and put them in here in the pot, the neck. Hopefully everything will fit. We shall see. So here, all that goodness. Lay that there. I think that was the heart. That was the liver. Now these vegetables have done their job. They flavored the pan. So they are going to go. They're going to go in here. And I put fresh vegetables, get fresh flavor. And then what I put at the bottom of this pan, I'm going to be doing the same thing tomorrow on the bottom of my turkey roaster. I layer all these vegetables, and that helps flavor the drippings, which is another important part of the gravy. I also add some wine to the bottom of that pan, wine and water. So again, all this flavor, just goodness. All right. So now I'm going to take a spatula and get all that scrapings off. I want all that goodness to go into my stock. I do not want that to stay in the pan. I want that to go. It's all flavor. And I don't know, you're not going to be able to tell, but it is dark. So this is instantly going to bring beautiful color to my stock. I remember sometimes over the years, and I don't know if I was at a friend's house or if it was even at a restaurant where they had, you know, turkey gravy, and it was like light brown, maybe even tan. And I do not want my turkey gravy that color. Maybe that's how you like it, and that's, you know, you do you. I like a rich, deep colored gravy, even if it's poultry. And the way you can achieve it is by roasting. I'm just going to check out my cranberries. They are just bursting and popping away. I really wish I had a simmer. I look forward to our next one having a simmer. Okay, so I'm just going to take all this goodness and get it into my stock. I'm not going to put this through a sieve yet. I'll put it through a sieve after my stock has reduced. So let me just get this goodness. All that in, all that flavor. And you know what? I'm going to do one more rinse because I want to get every bit of that flavor. I'm going to get just some water because I'm adding water anyway. There we go. Get that rinsed off. Get all that flavor. We want all that flavor to go into our stock. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. All right. So now I can fill this with water. There we go. And now we're going to let this now reduce. So we're going to bring that up to a boil. We're going to add a few things to it. Oh, my cranberries are done. That was my timer. My cranberries are done. Let me show you how that looks. My cranberry orange sauce. Oh, it's a little hot. Let me get this. You can see. Can you see the red? Ah, when I pour it into a container, you'll see. Let me just let it cool a little bit, and then I'll pour it into a clear container, and you can see. Now what I do, I like, some people like whole berry cranberry sauce, and of course some people like that gel, which I used to like because when I was little, but I'm not a fan of. I like a mix, so I like taking just a little masher. You can use a potato masher, and I just like doing a little mash. So obviously there are whole cranberries in this, but I like them to be a little broken. I don't want to like puree this. I just want to have them, I want to have them a little broken, and there'll be some that won't be. There we go. Now this stuff can stain like the dickens, so I'm going to take that Put it right in the sink. Taste it. Well, that's good. Very nice. And plenty of orange flavor. Remember, we didn't have enough orange juice. I didn't stress about it, and it's perfectly fine. If I had the orange juice, it'd be perfectly fine too, but I was a little short, and we're good. So I'm gonna keep this over here to cool, and you'll see it when we put it into a clear container. But what I need to do with my stock is I'm not finished yet. To my stock over here that is going to be coming up to a boil and then reducing, I want to add some salt and pepper. I want to add some bay leaves, some parsley, and some of the other herbs that I'm going to be adding to my stuffing and my turkey, so that it all kind of is coming from the same place. So I'm just going to take some parsley, and I can just put it right in whole. In fact, usually what I do is I just tie these all together. I'll be using some of this parsley in my stuffing tomorrow. Just want to get a little parsley, and I'm going to get a little, let's see here. Get a little parsley, get a little thyme. Let's see. Oh, this thyme is a little small. Oh, here's a nice big one. That's perfect. Get a little thyme. Get a little, oh, big old sage. You know what? I just got some sage from the market nearby. I'm actually going to use that. And I will use that rosemary. And put these all back for tomorrow, because this is the stuff I put under the skin of the turkey. Okay, so put that away. I'm going to get my sage out. Yes. Let's see here. This is the sage I got. Let me flip it. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, this is nice. Here's some sage. There we go. Herbs and some bay leaves. So again, we can maximize our flavor. I'm just going to tie these up. It's fine, you don't have to tie them up, but I just find it's easier when I'm done removing everything and straining. It's just nice to have them all in one place. Just use, and I use this twine if I need it tomorrow with my turkey. Just give it a big square knot. We can put that in. Tuck that in. Let's see. Here's a nice wooden spoon. By the way, if you are making cranberry sauce, do not use a wooden spoon. I mean, you can, but your wooden spoon will be pink at the end of that. All right, so I've got my water in there. I'm just going to put some salt in there. I'm going to put a bunch of pepper. Let's see. Where'd my pepper mill go? Oh, there it is. Get my pepper. There we go. Okay. And bay leaf. Don't forget that, our bay leaf. Oops. 2 bay leaves. Bay leaf leaves are a wonder to me because they, it's just interesting. I do trust that they give it flavor, but I'll have to say of any of the dried herbs, or they're a bit of a wonder for me, because like I feel like I add dried sage, I taste it. I add dried thyme, I taste it. I add dried rosemary, I taste it. Bay leaf, I'm always like, do I taste it? But I do it, right? We follow, they say bay leaf, we put a bay leaf in, but I'm always, that's the one I'm just never really sure of. But I do it. I don't question. I just do it. Okay, so our stock is going to be brought to a boil, and then we will simmer it as best we can with the confines of my stove that doesn't simmer well. And actually, I'm going to simmer it probably, let's see, it's almost 4 o'clock. I'll probably simmer it till like 5:30. I'm just going to let it go. Like you don't have to do anything with it. You just like kind of forget about it, right? So I'm going to do that, and at the end I'll strain it, and you know, and I'll put that in the container, and that'll be for tomorrow. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to prep my vegetables for what? For tomorrow's stuffing. But before I do that, I just thought of something. I'm going to get my potatoes ready for the vegan mashed potatoes. I am going to do that. Put this away. So I need to take my cranberry sauce and put it in a container. The usual container is being used by something else, and I didn't think about that. I think it'll fit in this though. I hope it'll fit in this. I think it'll fit in this. We shall see if it'll fit in this, right? So I'm going to do this carefully because I don't want to get all over me. There we go. Where's my little spatula? Here's my, oh, I love cranberry sauce. I know not everyone does. I love it. We will literally, we'll make a turkey sandwich the next day, and we'll just put some cranberry sauce on the side and just eat it like a relish. And some people put it on their turkey sandwich. Oh, it's so good. I love cranberry sauce. And for those of you that like cocktails, apparently you can use cranberry sauce in cocktails. Not with stuff I don't like bourbon, but apparently. So now this is pretty hot. So, and you can see it's beautiful, that deep color. Let me see if you can get a better look at it. See, gorgeous. I'm going to let this cool just a little bit longer, because what happens is if I put the lid on now, put it in the fridge, it's just going to condense and water is going to drip down. I want this to cool a little more before I cover it and put it in the fridge. So I'm just going to let this sit tight. There's nothing that's going to go bad in it, so it's good. Just checking on my stock. And then I'm going to get this washed and get my potatoes cut for my vegan mashed potatoes so I can get those made. There we go. Let me get this washed. So if anyone else is watching, please, I want you to know that I appreciate you popping in and checking out what I'm doing, that so many people are doing across the country right now, getting ready for Thanksgiving. And feel free to say hello, say hey. Would love to know who's joining me. And if you're watching this later, again, this is not what my typical live stream is like. I'm usually, have a lot more planned and conversations, but this is really just meant to be a bird's eye view, like you're a little bug on the wall, see what's happening in my household when I'm getting ready for Thanksgiving the next day. So I have a lot of prep that I do the night before. You cannot do well, at least I don't think you can do Thanksgiving in a day. I think there needs to be prep ahead of time. On Sunday, during the stream that was about pumpkin recipes, I made the pumpkin bread, so that's all set to go for tomorrow to boil. So Let me just temper it down a little bit. Let it simmer. And this is just gonna cook for like an hour and a half. We'll get things prepped so that tomorrow when it's time to stuff the bird and do the stuffing, it'll be a lot easier. Less pans to wash, which I know Hubs will appreciate. So this is gonna be for my mashed potatoes. Again, I always make the rest of my mashed potatoes fresh. That's just what I do. You don't have to do that. You could make your mashed potatoes ahead of time. I've always done it where I make them the day of, but I have a niece who's vegan, and so she does not want that butter or milk in her mashed potatoes. And so I'm going to be making vegan mashed potatoes. So first thing I'm going to do is get my potatoes peeled and boiling. So I'm going to get some potatoes out. And the reason I'm making it ahead of time, besides just saving me one more thing to do, but the other reason I'm doing that is because last year when I was meaning to set some aside, I forgot. In the flurry of everything that's Thanksgiving on that special day, I forgot. So, I did bring my potatoes out. Over here. And I did not want to forget this year. So I thought I will make them ahead of time. So one of the ways that you can make good vegan mashed potatoes is the same way that you can make, in my opinion, really good regular mashed potatoes, and that is using Yukon Gold or a yellow potato. They just tend to have a natural buttery flavor already. So you don't even have to add butter, and they have a buttery flavor. So that's the kind that I get. That's the kind I get every year for Thanksgiving for my mashed potatoes. So I'm just gonna grab some here for my niece. And I can't believe these potatoes, I picked them up on Friday, and they are already getting little sprouties on them. It's shocking. And the rest of these are going to go with the 5-pounders that are going to be cooked for the rest of the crew tomorrow. Okay, put that there. So what I need to do with these is I need to peel these. Let me see here. Let me maintain my space a little bit. You know what? I'm just gonna, let me think through. Look at my peeler. Okay, I'm just gonna peel them on this plate and then dump it. Probably my least favorite things to do is peeling potatoes or peeling carrots or peeling anything. I am not someone who enjoys peeling vegetables. In fact, that's one of the ways my dad helped my mom with Thanksgiving or Christmas if she was making mashed potatoes, is he is a phenomenal vegetable peeler. And he does so without complaining, and he just gets it done. And I admired him for that. My Hubs does not desire to peel vegetables, so it gets left to me. And I love potatoes, so it's worth it because there's nothing like homemade mashed potatoes. But yeah, it just kind of gets left to me. So one of the ways I'm going to ramp up the flavor of my nieces is I'm going to boil some garlic with potatoes and then mash some of that garlic with them just to add some extra flavor. I did get some vegan butter, and I've never had vegan butter, so I asked for recommendation at the market. There were 3 different kinds, and he recommended this one kind, so hopefully that will be yummy. Okay. There we go. See how, yep, our stock is simmering over there nicely. There we go. One other hack to make sure if you're doing Thanksgiving for the first time is always have some extra chicken broth. It's just good to have extra around because what if, you know, you're making your dressing or stuffing, it seems a little dry. It's a great way to moisten it with flavor. And maybe you either, A, you're not making the giblet stock, or B, you just didn't make quite enough. Or maybe you thought you had more stock than you originally really do, and you need some more gravy. So you want to add more to your gravy. So it's just good to have some extra chicken stock around so you have plenty for your needs on Thanksgiving. I know they sell turkey stock, but it's funny, they've never really rated the turkey stock. I've seen some different shows that talk about how different chicken stock are, what's good, what's better, and all that kind of stuff. They've really never done that with turkey. So a lot of times I just get chicken stock because I don't really know how good the turkey stock is, and I don't really want to buy a whole quart of it to be it's just kind of just so-so. So now you're just going to cut these potatoes into similar sizes so they can cook evenly. Oops. And I'm just going to then cover these with water and salt it, and then get them to boil, and then I'm going to boil them until they're fork tender. And I'm going to get out our vegan butter so it can come to room temperature. I don't know if that's something that is done with vegan butter, but in regular butter we do that, so I'm going to do that. Okay. So let's put our potatoes in. But you can see the yellowness of them. And it doesn't mean that they taste buttery, but they do. They just, yellow potatoes, Yukon Golds, they just have a buttery flavor, which is good. So I'm going to cover these with water. They don't need to be swimming in water. They just need to be covered. So just till they're covered. Okay. And then we're going to get this boiling. I want to get them salted. There we go. And I'm going to get out my vegan butter just so I have it. Let's see. So the stuff that the fella had recommended was Earth Balance. So we shall see. We'll see how it is. Let's see here. Right place. I'm curious. Let's see. I need to wash my container so I can melt the butter in that. Wash this. Let's see here. Okay. All I know is all these good smells are making me hungry. Truly. Making me very hungry. Okay. So I'm just interested to see what this smells and tastes like. I've never... It doesn't have a smell. So there's no smell. I want to see what the ingredients are. I'm curious. Let's see. Let's see here. So vegetable oil. There's a blend, and then water, salt. Yeah. So to me, I'm thinking it's just kind of like margarine, right? It's just like margarine. I grew up with margarine. I remember there was I think margarine was less expensive than butter, and I'm not sure if that is why we got it, but I feel like that might have been why we got it, because it was less expensive. And then, my celery's a little bit long, so I'm just cutting that off. And then I feel like then we preferred the taste for a while, because you kind of prefer what you're used to. And I will tell you that around that same time was when we were using Miracle Whip instead of mayonnaise, because that was a thing. it was kind of popular. It's just funny, all the trends in food. But now I'm back to butter, and I like mayonnaise. So it's just funny how you kind of go through those different phases. I'm just going to rinse this plate off because I want to put some of my my stuff for my stuffing. And what I'm going to do today is so one of the things my sister taught me with stuffing, because my mom didn't do this, is she does a quick saute of all of her vegetables that are going into her stuffing. She does that before she mixes it with the stuffing. And it just kind of, number one, it ensures that they do, you know, that you don't have like a raw piece of onion in your stuffing, so that they're cooked, especially with stuffing a bird, because I'm putting some of it in the bird just to make sure it all cooks through. So I started doing that, I forget how many years ago. So I'm basically just going to now get my stuff ready for tomorrow, but I'm actually gonna get sauteed so that that's all set to go. So for my stuffing, I'm gonna need 6 stalks of celery, 2 onions, but I'm only gonna use 1 onion because onions aren't my brother-in-law's friend. So I'm gonna cut it by half. And I'm also, that's it, onions and celery. So I'm gonna get that going in the pan. Let me check my stock. Okay, so get that going. And I'm gonna do those in butter, so I'm doing butter anyway. And I'm actually using salted butter for this just to help with seasoning. I always buy unsalted butter except for butter that I'm putting out at the table for people to use on their bread, as well as at Thanksgiving I buy salted butter because I'm using it in things like the stuffing, you know, in sautés. So this is a time of year that I actually have I have both. I have unsalted for baking and salted for some of the regular cooking. And during the rest of the year, I don't worry about that, but it just kind of helps you make sure everything is seasoned okay. So I'm going to get this melting, and then I'm going to, I know it seems like a lot, but it actually helps me. I won't need to, you know, use quite as much when I actually mix everything with the stuffing, because I'm using 1 stick of it now, because I'll be using another stick. I'll be melting another stick tomorrow. So that way I kind of got things going. So I've got that. In fact, you know what? I take that back. I'm going to get both sticks melted, because then it gets flavored by the onions and celery and can permeate the rest of the stuffing. So in my mama's recipe, it's 2 sticks of butter plus 3 different kinds of bread. And that part of that is my recipe. She always used a mixture of hard and soft unseasoned cubes. What I did differently was, of those 3 bags, one of the bags is cornbread crumbles. They're hard. They've been dried out. I think it's Pepperidge Farm that does it. So I'm going to get my onion cut. So pick a nice onion. All right. There we go. And this one does seem small, so I might need to actually do more. Usually I would do like 1 large onion. So I'll just have to eyeball it and see. Yeah, because I'm peeling too much off anyway. I wonder if Hubs figured out why I didn't answer the phone. What do you think? Do you think he figured it out? Okay. So then I'm just going to do a chop. Ooh, they're a little bit, what's the word I want to use? A little bit strong. Might get a few tears coming. Okay. Let me bring that over. I think I'm gonna need a little more onion. If it was a bigger onion, I would be able to get away with just one, but I think I'm gonna need another one. I'll do a small one. So usually I would just do 2 of that size onion that I had. I'll do a smaller one to reduce the onion somewhat. I just know how much bread's going to be in there, and it needs to flavor all that yumminess. And so I'm not looking to brown this. I'm just looking to soften and get these sauteed up a little bit. Again, I'm not looking to completely cook these. I just want to take the edge off so that they will get appropriately cooked once in the stuffing. And most of this reason is because I do it in the bird. So I just want to make sure. And my potatoes are, they're boiling. So I can turn those down a little bit. This going. Shelby's investigating. You can tell. So now I need 6 stalks of celery. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm gonna need some for tomorrow. I never have enough celery. You know what? I run into this every time, that I'm always like wishing I had a little more celery. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna just use this. I'll use the leaves. That'll help flavor it. And use that for the. I always. It's like no matter how much celery I get, I always feel like I'm wishing I had more. True story. I don't know why. It just is kind of the way it happens every year, to be honest. Okay. So let's get these done. All right, so I'm just going to cut off. These ends were already cut off, so I'm just going to trim off the top a little bit. See, get some of this stuff off the top, and then I'm going to just cut these leaves in there. They will flavor our stuffing. I think that'll be actually really yummy, so that'll be good. I want to get my dice pretty small. Doesn't have to be crazy, but I just don't want a big hunk of celery. You can see my knife skills aren't the best. I always struggle with getting my fingers bent around. I do my best, right? Okay, I'm gonna just put this here so I can bring that over to the butter. And then I'm gonna chop up these leaves. That will just flavor the stuffing. I feel like that'll only be good stuff. Okay, wait, that one doesn't look good. All right, that's lots of goodness. Put that in the butter. Those cook down. And just 2 more. There we go. Okay, get this chopped away. There we go. It ain't pretty, but I get it done, right? I don't have the skills of my friend Archie, who is culinary trained, and he's a much better chopper than I am, but I try my best. Let's get that in. And then I want to get, even though this is salted butter, I do want to get some seasoning in there too. I want to check on my potatoes, see if they're done yet. let's see here. It's like a big string in our, so this is all going to be going in my stuffing tomorrow. So just trying to get this sweated out a little bit. Some yummy flavor. I'm going to do some salt and pepper. Let's check on my stock. My stock looks beautiful. Oh my goodness. I'm going to put some in a cup so you can see how gorgeous it is. And you'll realize how beautiful that gravy is going to look. Salt. Okay, there we go. So this is just a flavor layer down here of my celery and onion. Right there. And I think that's all I need. I don't need to totally cook it longer. That's fine. So now I'm going to put this. This is my celery onion mixture for my stuffing. I'm going to put this in a container. So tomorrow I will just warm it up just to take the edge off so the butter will melt. So that way it'll be able to be added to my mixture and permeate the bread. And I want to show you. Let's see if I can show you that. Oh, I know where I can show it to you. A little unorthodox, but it'll get the job done. Let me show you. Just want to show you the color of this broth. Now this broth has not been strained, so you have to give me that. But look, ooh, that's a little hot. Look at this color. Take that off. I'll just put this 1 second over there. Look at this color. See already, and I'll put it in front of my shirt so you can see. Look at that deep color of the stock. And that is because we browned the giblets and the vegetables, and then we deglazed the pan. You don't have to use wine. I used a little wine and sherry, and then and a little bit of water. And now we've just been letting the stock gather and gather flavor with fresh carrots, onions, and celery. We put in some of the herbs we're using in the rest of our turkey and stuffing, which is rosemary, thyme, sage, and parsley, salt and pepper, bay leaf. And I want to actually, let me get a little spoon and take a little taste, see how the seasoning is. We added salt and pepper. And again, this hasn't been doing much for a while, but ooh. But it's amazing. It has good flavor. Like already it has good flavor, and that tells me that that is going to be really good in our making our gravy and making our stuffing. So that is what you want. That is why you roast. That is why that extra step I've been doing for years, and to me it makes all the difference, truly. One of the my husband's favorite things, he's a stuffing guy, but one of his favorite things is just the way, I've developed the gravy, the way that has just become this just great flavorful sauce that accompanies everything. I'm going to put my celery away, get some of my stuff tidied up. I'm going to put my carrots away. Got a royal mess here. Let me check my potatoes. Oh, that's what I turned off. Oh no. I got my burners mixed up, and I thought I was turning off my celery and onions, and I was turning off my potatoes. So I need to see how these are doing. Oh yeah, they're not done at all. Okay, so we need to get that back up and going. Let's see. Okay. Get the potatoes back. Meanwhile, I can get all this stuff thrown away. You know what? I'm just thinking out loud. Yeah, actually, I'm good, because let me just look at my list. I've done the stock. I've got my turkey ready. I got the stuff from the dressing and the stuffing. I did my cranberry sauce. The last thing I'm doing is my vegan mashed potatoes. So yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness, I forgot to put my garlic cloves in there. Oh shucks. Actually, considering how much the potatoes are still, I should be fine. Oh goodness, totally forgot. Okay, let me get a couple of those in. Oh dear. Let me get a knife. I just want to get these undone. Okay, totally forgot my garlic. Okay, I put 2 cloves in there and that smaller amount of potatoes. Now I'm set. Oh goodness. I'm gonna put it on the dish and then bring it over to the trash. Okay, throw this away. All right. So once the potatoes are done, we're going to mash them, and I'm going to be mashing them with the vegan butter. Up. I have my twine for tomorrow. We turn down my potatoes. Now they are back to a rolling boil. Get this all tidy. So one of the things when I was looking up vegan mashed potatoes, I was trying to see, because I know that there was a time that olive oil mashed potatoes was kind of big, and that's also something, if there's needs to be a little flavor, maybe a little olive oil might do the trick also. But when you're not adding the milk, my question was, what do you add? So I know one thing you can do is add vegetable broth. The only problem with that is there's not a lot of great vegetable broths. And actually, truth be told, I thought I had vegetable broth left because I used to carry some, and I do not. So that is one oopsie. So, but I know I was also looking, and I feel like one of the recipes didn't show, it actually didn't show like any other extra liquid. So I need to take a peek and check that out and have my plan. All right. And I'm gonna put these celery and onions in a container. Let's see what container would work for that. Actually, I think this would work. Let's hope. Put my regular butter away. Okay, so let's see. So this is my celery, my butter, my celery, and onions. And this is all set for my stuffing. Tomorrow. So I don't have to worry about cutting that. It's all set to go. I'm just gonna let this cool. I'm gonna put this in. I don't want to put too warm things in the fridge and have that thrown off. Let's see here. Got my pumpkin bread. Got a lot of food in here, friends. A little too much food. Let's see. Put those there. The pumpkin bread on its side. That works. Okay. Okay. I'm really excited about this stock. This is good. This is going to be very good. Okay. Let's see. One thing I'm going to do, just thinking out loud, is, you know how with pasta, it's important to set aside some pasta water because it has starch in it and it's thickener and like all that good stuff. I'm going to do that with my potatoes. So I'm going to set aside some of my potato water because in thinking the same thing, that it might have some starches, and I'm going to use that to help create the consistency we want for our mashed potatoes. Let me check and see how they're doing. I think they're good. Let me see if okay. So I'm going to get some of my butter melted. Not butter, vegan butter, sorry. It's melted. So I just want to try it. It's like a spread, it's salty. It doesn't taste dairy, but it does taste, it tastes salty. And it has that, you know, consistency, like the oiliness, the, you know, that feeling that like butter does. So it's gonna be interesting. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is, since my potatoes are ready, I'm going to drain them, but I'm not going to worry about draining them. Like in my normal potatoes, I drain them really well and I put them back in the pan. I want them to dry a little bit because I don't want extra water. But because I'm adding milk or cream, I use milk. I actually just use whole milk, and that makes a yummy mashed potatoes. Whole milk with lots of butter. But in this case, I want some moisture because I'm not going to be adding butter. So what I'm going to do, and that already melted. 1 second. So my vegan butter melted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to drain them so that there might be some water still left, and that would be okay. All right. So again, I'm just trying some things. I'm going to put my vegan butter in. I'm also going to season. Remember, I have, I don't know if I want all of that garlic. Let me just take that out. I'm going to wait and see if I need that garlic. Because I had it in there, so it's given a little bit of flavor. Hello, my garlic is not cooperating. There we go. So I'm going to get some salt and get some pepper. And I am going to smash a little bit. Let me see. Oh, I know what it is. Aha! This is what I use. I use this to kind of smash. I just want to get this really smashed up. Take those little cores out that are, there we go. And then I'm going to use this to take that up, put that there. So I just mashed the garlic that I cooked. Oh, where's my little masher? Oh goodness gracious. Oh, I gotta wash this. Okay, meanwhile my potatoes are getting cold, which is not what you want, but okay, there we go. And I want to get my towel. Okay, so let's try to get this guy going. So I'm mashing. Oops. Getting this mashed up. Let me get a little taste. Oh, those are good. Very tasty. I might add just a little white pepper. You know I'm a fan of white pepper. And I just feel like I have plenty of black pepper. I just feel like white pepper might give it just a little background of a different kind of pepperiness, a different kind of heat. Okay. And I might add just a little bit more of the potato water to help it get fluffy. Okay. Just add a little bit more. Okay. Let me just rinse this, add some garlic on it, which is not that a problem, but it was like a big piece. All right, so let me see how this is going now. It's got a good consistency. We like a pretty stiff mash here in our family. Let me get a spoon to taste. Let's see. Oh, that white pepper is good. Oh, that white pepper. That's good. That is a good. I think it's tasty. It is not like traditional mashed potatoes. You don't have that dairy, buttery element, but it is quite good. And then she can always add more butter, some more of her vegan butter, if she so desires tomorrow. But I'm pretty pleased with it. And I feel like she can add, if there's something else that she's feeling with it, she can add it. I actually have a flavored olive oil that has some Italian flavors that would be kind of nice drizzled on top, but I'll wait and let her decide. So now I want to get this in a container. Let me see how big that is. And she can bring these home then. Oh my goodness. I'm running out of containers. Let's see. Let's see if this one will. This might just fit. Yep, this will work. Oh, I'm so happy. Auntie did not forget niece's vegan mashed potatoes. That makes me really happy. I felt so bad about that last year. So, and I'll talk to her because she's probably made mashed potatoes, and I'll see what she uses for the liquid, but I'm pretty happy with the starchy water from the potato water. Again, I was just kind of using that based upon what we do with pasta. So, pretty happy with that. All right, So vegan mashed potatoes, they are set. I'm gonna let these cool off a little bit before I put them back in. Oh, that still looks so good. All right, I think that's it. So now I just gotta clean up and, oh, I did wanna show you one thing. For my stuffing. Oh my gosh, it smells so good in here, I can't even. House is gonna come home and he's gonna be like, are we having it tonight? Because I think we have to, because it just smells so stinking good. It smells unbelievable here, like all these Thanksgiving flavors. So this is, I just want to show you what I do for my stuffing. So I use unseasoned cube bread, cube stuffing. You could cut your own, dry your own. I don't. This is what my mom did. This is what I do. But then I always find, and it's different no matter where you are in the country, and then I find this is soft cubes. This is actually potato bread. It's not always potato bread, but in this case, in this area, that's what is soft, is potato bread, so it adds a little sweet element. And then I use this cornbread stuffing to add that cornbread element. Again, that adds like a different texture. It adds a little bit of sweetness. So between the potato bread and the cornbread, there is this like sweet element to it, not sweet like dessert, but it's just another part of the flavor. And then the other thing I do add to my stuffing is I add cranberries. That was my take on it when I started making Thanksgiving and the Christmas turkey. Before I did the filet of beef, I wanted to make it my own. So one of the ways I made my own was adding dried cranberries to it. And they plump up when they cook in the stuffing, but they're sweet. It is so good. It's like this little like sweet something that comes in. So that's one of my favorite things that I added to make it my own when I started doing my own stuffing. So this is all set to go when I mix it all together. And the only other thing I'm going to do after I tidy up tonight is there is an easy snack mix that people like to snack on. And you use oyster crackers. Well, in fact, I'll show you because they're in here. Reminded me. You just use store brand oyster crackers. Do not get the fancy ones. Actually, these are better. The store brand are better because they're smaller. And you mix together some like vegetable oil with ranch dressing, the powdered ranch dressing mix. You mix vegetable oil, ranch dressing mix, and then you add like, I think it's almost like it's like a teaspoon or more of dill, and then you mix that all up. You let it sit and kind of flavor, and then you toss these in that. Oh my gosh, they are the most like addictive, yummy things. And I only do this in the holidays. I do it Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's just a little easy snack mix to have out for people to grab. So that's what we're gonna do later. It just takes like a few minutes. You don't even have to cook it. You just mix it, let it sit out, and then you put it into an airtight container. So that's it. So I'm gonna be tidying up. But thank you for peeking in, and hopefully you saw some things that you do. Maybe you saw some things that I do differently. And that's what I love about our country, because I feel like we all do things differently depending upon where we are in the country. And please let me know some of your twists and some of your favorites down below. I'd love to know kind of what you do for Thanksgiving and what makes it special for your family. And thank you for, if you popped in, thank you for popping in. I go back to my regular content this week, and I'm blanking as to what it is. I will let you know what it is, but follow me on Twitter, Philly Live, because I'll give you a heads up as to what my stream is this weekend and what it is next week. But right now, all I can think of is Turkey Day, is Thanksgiving. So that's the only thing on my brain. So thank you for coming. Please like and subscribe. I go back to my regular streams this weekend, and wishing, for anyone that's in the States, wishing you and your family a happy Thanksgiving, and may you have all your favorite foods and all your favorite people around you. And until we eat again, see you later. Thank you for popping in.